Hi, this is Elizabeth Stephan at Western Libraries. This is an overview of Mergent Market Atlas. Mergent Market Atlas, or Mergent, is a database where you can search for publicly traded companies that are currently active. This is the main screen of Mergent. This is where you can search for a company by name or by ticker symbol. You can also search for both US and international companies. You can choose to search for in a specific country, in a state. You can also search by a specific revenue, number of employees. There are different categories that you can use. You can also search by industry classification, meaning you would search for companies within a specific classification, both SIC, Standard Industrial Classification, and NAICS, or North American Industrial Classification. I am just going to do a basic company search. I'm going to search by company name. I'm searching for Kroger. I know I want the Kroger company, NYS. That means they are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. When you look at something for a company, you'll see tabs across the top. Each one of these tabs relates to information about Kroger. This first page is going to give you some basic information and an overview. Basic financial information, business description, location, some key statistics. It defaults to 1 year. You can go back farther. Their growth, profit, financial strength, etc. Mergent's strong point is really the financial information and having historical financial information. You'll see over here there's a company report. If I click on that, it will open up a PDF of this main information that I could then download. Clicking on news will do just that. It will give me the current news, usually things that are going to be coming across a newswire related to Kroger. And this information up here at the top tends to stay from screen to screen. Financials. This is one of Mergent's strong points because you can look at their financials, both current and going back up to 30 years. You'll see here we go back to 2016. If I want to look back farther, if I want to go to 20 years, I can change the date. If information is available back 30 years or max, that would be the most information that Mergent has on a company, it will go back as far as they have. This is going back to 1983. It defaults to the income statement. You can also look at balance sheet, cash flow, financials, ratio series, and then everything all at once. Clicking through these, you can see this information. They also give you definitions if you want to know what each one of these things mean. If I go back to income statement, well, the information here defaults to what is essentially a spreadsheet. I can't export it to a CSV, which I can then import into Excel. If I want to see a chart, I can select the items I want to see and then chart selected, and it will give me those options. I can also click around between the years, and then if I right click, I can download this in various formats. You'll have that option in every section. You'll be able to chart any of the numbers or the analysis that you see. If I click on analysis, this is going to do just that. It's going to give me kind of a breakdown of the financials even more. It defaults to the ratios. And if you need definitions or want definitions, click on ratio definitions, and it will give you a breakdown what each one of those things mean. After ratio, you can see this information broken down even more. Business segments, geographic, earning and revenue analysis, consensus, earning surprise, dividends, etc. One of the things I wanted to point out are the comparison. This is where you can compare two companies side by side. So if I want to look at Kroger's financials and then I want to compare it to Albertsons, I can search for Albertson and then see that same information side by side. One thing is I can only look at one company at a time. If I now want to look at, say, Albertsons and Target, I can do that as well, but I can't do more than two companies at one time. Something else that might be useful are the industry peers. This is going to show you Kroger compared to who Mergent sees as its competitors. You'll see that you'll look at some of these, and some of these companies you may not really think are their competitors, are really not who you want to look at. I can go through and delete any of these that I think may not be relevant. I can then add a company to that list. So you can stick with the list that Mergent develops, and then you can add your own companies as you see fit. Looking at the chart, this gives you the company information, the company financials. Looking at price, technical analysis, and fundamentals. If you scroll down, you can move between these different sections and see what they are, and again, change by year. You can also do an overlay if that's something that you want to see between two categories. And then the chart options gives you the option of how you want to download the information. Filings will give you the SEC filings for each company because these are publicly traded. Because the companies in Mergent are publicly traded, you will be able to find those different financials. If I want to look just for 10Ks, I can select a 10K, hit search, and then I can either look at the PDF or look at the web version, and then I can view the PDF right here. If there are other things I want to see, if I want to look at the last 5 years, I can do that as well. Executives is going to break down who the executives are within the company, and it will give you a biography along with earnings and that type of thing for each individual. If I mouse over the name, it will give me the biography, gives me their total compensation, and then what their title is. Ownership gives you access to institutional ownership, insider holdings, insider transactions. You can view the top 25 institutions that have holdings in a company. So you'll start with institutional, insider holdings, and then insider transactions. You can look at 1 year, you can look at as recently as 6 months, or go back as far as 5 years. As you move through Mergent, you will see this top information stays the same, and this link to this PDF for the company report will always be there. The sustainability tab looks at the environmental, social, and governance risk for a company. This is done by FTSE Russell. They're an outside analyst that looks at Kroger's sustainability or ESG rating, and then provides the information here. And you can click through here, looking at pillars, themes, history, and then just about. Under about, you can see what the different ratings mean and look at some of the definitions. The last tab are reports. These are overall reports that you can download about Mergent. Some of these you will see as you click through. You can also look at, there's a summary report. So this is going to give you some of that basic description, industry classification, along with some of the key characteristics, key financials. Fundamentals is going to look at the equity financial characteristics and ratios. This is where you're going to find some of that analysis about their financials. And then their expanded fundamental report gives you kind of a combination of the both, the basic information, the summary, along with the fundamentals. You can scroll through these even more and look at rating. The proprietary stock rating is where they look at or analyze key trends. This is a stock report. The recommendation or the health of a company as far as investment. This comes from LSEG, which is a London Stock Exchange. They own Mergent, and they give you an average score on whether a company is really kind of a good bet or a bad bet. And they do analyze this or look at this by buy, sell, hold. Sustainability will be the sustainability reports that again come from the Russell Financial. There is also a corporate responsibility. These just look at the ratings that come from FTSE Russell. And then annual reports, these are Mergent's own annual reports as they have been issued, in this case, going back to 1995. That is a quick overview on how to navigate through Mergent Market Atlas, or Mergent. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.